Skeletaals, so named after their appearance and method of tool use. All skeletal instances successfully transferred to captivity are to be housed in an apartment-like complex on U.S. government land in Nevada. Instances are allowed access to a shared pool as well as a large courtyard enclosed in all directions with electrified industrial-grade fencing. Interviews are allowed on request, and are to be moderated by Committee 241, Cottonmouth negotiators. Skeletaal are a species of sophont, intelligent invertebrates most closely related to the lancelet, a primitive fish-like invertebrate belonging to the phylum Chordata, which is known for the presence of a notochord in its constituent species. The life cycle of a specimen begins with the live birth of an aquatic larval stage. The body, which measures around 1 foot and 7 inches and is a dark brown color, will have 3 regions. The first is the head region, containing a mouth with hooks for snagging small fish and 6 round eyes. These eyes are a gray color. The base of the head will also exhibit small limb buds. The second region will contain 8 holes, 4 on the left side of the body and 4 on the right side of the body. These holes have short, siphon-like structures, which may intake or exhale water, enabling jet propulsion. The last region of the body is the tail, which has 16 flaps, 8 on the left side of the body and 8 on the right side of the body. Each one acts as a gill. The large surface area allows for oxygen exchange between water and the bloodstream. This larval stage will reach an intermediate stage. The now blue-green eyes will begin to elongate away from the body and multiple tentacles will sprout from the limb buds. The center of body mass will begin to shift to the base of these limbs as more and more sprout. The instance will transition to an amphibious stage, returning to the water to rest but capable of hunting small animals on land. Prey items may include lizards and small mammals or birds. Specimens will rely on natural instinct less and less, instead learning new hunting methods through observation or trial and error. Once the individual has reached the size of a young greyhound dog, it will leave the water entirely. The eyes will transition to a stalk-like shape. Acquiring a light blue color, they will become highly flexible and resistant to damage, producing stem cells in order to self-repair. All skin will have turned a red color at this point, resembling mammalian muscle tissue. At this point the elongated body will be constituted of 5 regions. Region A, or the head, on which will be located the long stalk-like eyes. The lower portion of the head will possess 3 pairs of black serrated mandibles, or type M, appendages. Region B is the neck and shoulder area, from which extend several type S or secondary appendages, denoted by their lack of any rigid structures. Region C, or the first torso, will contain 4 holes, 2 on each side. These spiracles are derived from the siphon-like holes, but are now fully developed to breathe air. Primary, or type P, appendages will be present. These limbs have a single black spike-like protrusion at the end. Type B, or bladed appendages are also present here, characterized by the flattened and slightly serrated black protrusion where the limb terminates. Region D, or the second torso, contains the other 4 spiracles. It is characterized by type P and type S appendages. Region E, or the tail, exhibits the retained larval gills, which remain somewhat functional. This region also includes organs for reproduction. Skeletaals are very weak when lacking any tools in their possession, having little to no structural support and only being able to cover long distances in water. Individuals will use bones of large animals as a skeletal system, configuring its numerous tentacles together to form a shape similar to muscles. The species is not parasitic, rather, they harvest the bones of deceased organisms. This will allow them to mimic certain animals, such as bears or saber-toothed cats. The tentacles release a special chemical that will rapidly biomineralize the bones, turning them to stone so that they will not rot or decay. It has been found that many fossilized bones found in museums are actually the ossified bones created by skeletaals. When equipped with a skeleton, a skeletal may be the size of a chimpanzee or much larger, with the largest recorded instance being 60 feet long. They may be able to form extra, compound limbs, using a mix of bones from other animals, manipulating the extraskeletons with their prehensile limbs. When provided with a steady food supply, individuals are able to slowly regenerate any lost tentacles or stalk eyes over time. Skeletaals may pass on their acquired bones as heirlooms if they encounter their offspring. Like many other organisms discovered by the exploratory inverted initiative, no fossil record exists of this anomalous species, indicating a possible shared origin. Skeletaals have lived in the Americas from at least before the last ice age. It is thought that they originated from the Yucatan Peninsula but later moved upward around the time that the last ice age ended. Evidence of this migration has been recorded in various Mesoamerican mythologies and oral traditions. These legends, while originating in different cultures, display common themes, such as featuring shape-shifting beings who seek the north. In pre-Columbian times, the Skeletaals were able to live alongside various Native American civilizations and developed similar social structures. Wars, while not unheard of, were relatively rare. Skeletaals live for around 200 years, with each male or female mating around twice in its life. Around every 150, a massive migration happens. About 2/3 of the entire population will take a pilgrimage to Lake Tulare, California. Skeletaals will occasionally breed while not on this pilgrimage, but historically, the main occasion of mating would take place once all the migrants reached the lake. This was to ensure that the next generation would grow up in an environment safe from drought, as historically Lake Tulare was the 9th largest body of water in what is now the USA. Once the parents left, the larval aquatic Skeletaals would have a competition-free zone to develop in. Once they transitioned to becoming fully terrestrial, they would be able to leave and disperse to populate the southwestern US and northwestern Mexico. One such migration occurred in 1791. Due to the relative lack of Europeans, the Skeletaals were able to complete their migration with little disturbance. This would change over the next century, as the westward expansion of the United States forced significantly increasing numbers of Native Americans from their land. Such events created tension between the Native Americans and Skeletaal populations, as their high populations now were forced to occupy the same land. This led to several series of wars, which the humans won using their superior technology. Due to this, Skeletaals went into hiding and rarely interacted with humans, causing them to fade into obscurity. The most recent of the pilgrimages happened in 1939. The Hoover Dam and the resulting lake were built as a substitute for Lake Tulare, as it had been drained in the 1800s. The substitute was inferior due to its small size, but the already low Skeletaal population was not severely impeded. At current day, it is believed by many government agents that various urban legends, such as that of the Chupacabra, are a result of interaction with particularly elusive specimens. Examination of Skeletaal brain structures has proven divergent nervous system functionality. While the species has converged on human-like intelligence and emotions, this is achieved through different ways. In humans, the brain sector that allows for intelligence and logic is farthest from the spinal cord, which controls the body. The brain sectors in between these two control things like involuntary reactions and emotions. Essentially, bodily stimulus is filtered through emotion when it reaches the intelligent mind. Likewise, logic must be filtered through emotion to enable physical actions. In Skeletaals, a large portion of the brain is devoted to motor skills in order to control the myriad of appendages. This means that the logic sector of the brain is directly tied to the sector that controls the body. The logic sector acts as a mediator between the emotional sector and the area that controls bodily functions. Because of this brain structure, Skeletaals see complex emotions as being an indicator of soffents, rather than facets like complex thought or reasoning.